Alright, Wednesday now, 802 Garage. This is weird. I just put the battery in the Cadillac and I hear something running back here. The key is not even in the ignition. I think maybe it has air suspension? Is it raising? I don't know, I'll leave the camera sit for a minute and y'all can watch on time-lapse and see if the car raises. Alright, I definitely think that raised. I don't know, I'm going to watch the video back right now, but hopefully it doesn't kill the battery because I want to try to start the damn thing, not raise it. Alright, I watched it back. Definitely has air suspension, so that's cool. I'm going to try to start this thing, so I'll show you the engine view because I figure that'll be more exciting for y'all. And we'll see if I get anything. Alright, so it did say theft system problem. Car may not restart. You can see the key has these little contacts on either side, and those are to check the resistance for the security system. It's you know, it's a good idea, but bad in the long term. So there's a reset method, but I'm going to try just cleaning these contacts real quick first and see how that goes. Alright, I do not think it's going to work, but attempt number 2. Alright, I'm going to try the method where I try to start it, leave it on for 10 minutes, turn it off, repeat twice, and then try to start it on the 4th time. Well, after I decided to come out, it looks like it may rain again, but I think what I decided to do for now is I'm going to take off the fan and the hose, and I'm going to hit the bottom of this thing with some brake clean and blow it out with the air hose, make sure it's nice and dry, and then paint the lower half like I said I was going to do. Oh, this bolt looks like it's gonna be fun. Time to see if they broke the lower filler neck too. Nope, that one's in good shape. Makes sense too, because this is the cold port. So it takes a lot less heat than this one. You can see how gross this plastic is. Okay. Ta-da! You actually have to be pretty careful with an air gun. You don't want to damage some of these fins, especially if you take it at an angle. At least on an older radiator. Gonna use a little purple power and a brush just to clean out the bottom of this. Hopefully you saw that grime wash away. Trying to get as little as possible into the actual fins. You watch, I'll do all this work and then it'll leak like a sieve. Alright, this is just literally some El Cheapo brake clean. This isn't working worth shit. Alright, I actually just repressurized it with my air gun. So it's working a little better. Well, failure on that. I was on like the last cycle, and because you can't turn off the damn headlights, at least as far as I know, just killed the battery, so charging that again. Alright, so this is my setup for painting the lower bit of the radiator. I just use these little indents down here as where to level it all out. Just needs to be like the bottom quarter or a third or so. Mostly going to focus on kind of filling in the lower area with paint. Did both sides, just used paper and painter's tape. This is just my usual Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel in black. And no, I'm not putting on any self-etching paint or anything like that. I did this to my Impreza radiator maybe, oh, I don't even know, 6 years ago, and the paint's still holding up. So I'm not too worried about adhesion. That's coat 1. Alright, this will be coat number 2. Gonna flip it around. Third and final coat. Feels like there's more paint in here, but this thing seems dead. Maybe I can get a different nozzle. Brand new nozzle, we'll see. Oh yeah. Alrighty, all done with that paint. Alright, I can show the finished product now. Alright, there you go. So, I mean, if you look real close, you can see a tiny bit of overspray. You know, and it's not all going to be as perfectly black in every single spot. But the key here is that lower area, where it's all nice and glossy. And I did try to hit like the underside of the tank a little bit where it seals. And these sides, especially, are all coated in paint. Here's what the other side looks like. And this is going to have plenty of time to dry, so don't worry about the weather. There's a little bit of paint run right there. Oh no, whatever will I do? Yeah, so, especially from this far away, looks fine. Nobody will really see it, they'll be seeing the intercooler. Again, if you didn't see last video, this is really just to prevent the radiator from failing prematurely because buildup collects down there and it will actually corrode the aluminum pipes until they start to seep. And I don't think that was happening yet, but now hopefully won't ever happen. And it looks kind of cool if anybody ever does see it. Even though this radiator is a little bit junky and I still have to fix this upper filler neck, even though it does function as is, but I definitely want to reinforce it. I'm not sure yet if I'm going with JB Weld or epoxy. If I can find my epoxy, probably that. I'm still here working on the Cadillac, but the raccoon is back. Haven't seen him for a while. Oh, he ducked away. Damn, that was like my 4th attempt at this shit. Alright, so I'm going to try to pull the trouble codes from this Cadillac without plugging it in. Apparently you turn it to on, and then you hold the off and the warmer button, which I think is what this is, for 3 seconds. Okay. Now I believe no PCM data. IPC V1552 history. Okay, so it's giving me all the codes. I believe that one's what's causing the ignition problems. But I'll look these all up. Lots of codes. And that PCM question mark means it's done. Then apparently you can hit off a few times. There we go, now it's back to normal, and I could try to start the car, or you could have turned the ignition to off. And it still doesn't start. Well, I have at least found an issue. Figured I'd check all the fuses. Went to pull this one right here, which says it is the PCM battery, and one of the legs actually snapped right off. Yeah, so here is the fuse itself. Should be fairly easy to tell that that's definitely broken. Who knows if it broke when I pulled it, but it looks extremely corroded in there and screwed up. And usually this kind of corrosion on contacts and the fact that it broke when I pulled it out means that it had gotten extremely hot. So that definitely needs to be replaced. I'll have to pull out that leg. I'm going to keep checking fuses. By the way, all I'm using is this little multimeter. I want to say I paid like $7.50 on Amazon. This is like the cheapest one. Not quite the cheapest one. It's just a little bit better. And all that you do with it is touch these two leads to a fuse, and it beeps to tell you that there's continuity. Or you could get a fuse tester, of course. But if you work on cars and you don't have a multimeter yet, I mean, $7.50, $8, whatever it is, less than 10, get one. Alright, well here's hoping, right? I replaced that fuse, which the car definitely needs to run. Battery's pretty much fully charged. A goddamn fuse. Charging at 14.7 like a beast. I'm gonna let that run for a minute and then we'll give her some revs. You know what's extra funny about this is the only reason I bothered to check the fuses is I was looking it up online. And people were saying, oh, it could be the fuses, check the fuses, check the whatever, the PCM fuse, which is what it was, and other fuses. And I'm like, for the number of times people have told me to check fuses in my life, it's never been one. The only time I've needed to replace a fuse is when I blew it with a radio. And like I've had to replace a blower motor fuse in my mom's Jeep, but never for a car starting. So I was getting ready to do this whole resistor thing under the dash, and I was like, thinking to myself, it's never fuses. You know, I was reading another forum post, I'm like, you know what, I might as well check all the fuses. Get like 3/4 of the way through the fuses, one doesn't register, pull it out, it breaks. It's a friggin' fuse, man. So, even when you don't think it's fuses, check your fuses. That's my story for right now. It's extra funny when you think that this, whatever, 2.5 ton beast boat is disabled by this little tiny piece of junk. Cars are silly. Cadillac runs, it was a fuse.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
Meh.
Meh.
Cadillac runs, it was a fuse. Figures, right? And I was just thinking to myself, it's never a fuse. For the number of times that people have said check your fuses, never had a fuse be the reason a car wouldn't start, and it was. So at least I checked. Well, it's running, but definitely not perfectly. Hey, what do you know? This is actually a cable throttle. I totally thought it was going to be electronic. Ma V8. Ma V8. There's definitely an exhaust leak under there. Let's see what it sounds like at the rear end though. I don't know how that sounded on here, but from the inside it sounded fucking amazing. I'm going to show you what it sounds like from the cabin real quick. No tack in this thing, but listen to this. that sounds like a Cadillac. Alright, I'll get you right next to where it's broken. Alright, I gotta make an Instagram post out of this real quick. Well, that's fun. Just so you know, I did check the coolant and oil before I did this to it. What a beast! What a beast! Alright folks, I think I'm going to call it there. I didn't get nearly as much done on the Eclipse as I wanted to, but I feel pretty accomplished about getting that Cadillac running, even though it was something dumb. Diagnosing stuff takes a long time, and that's what I did. So here's a little sneak peek at the radiator, a bit more dry. Ooh, shiny! The bottom of that thing actually looks so good, it's funny. But, yep, still gotta fix the filler neck. Oh, the raccoon's over there again somewhere. But for now, solid. I'll leave it back here to dry while I'm gone for several days. So yeah, if you didn't know, I'm gonna be on Long Island from basically Thursday afternoon until probably Monday night. So the actual work will commence again on next Tuesday. And I'm going to try to go hard at the Eclipse GSX. So, would love to get that running as soon as possible. But yeah, going to a wedding with my girlfriend. It's her sister's wedding and her other sister's graduation party from high school. So, I appreciate you all watching so much. Thank you for watching 802 Garage. Please come back soon. Eventually, I will have a turbo car running. I hope you enjoy.